we are back again with more high quality news. So I want to go through a few news stories that kind of interested me about the marijuana industry. And then there's one or two stories that I really want to get into that one of them is from last time, the first episode. This is episode 2. So we'll just go through these and then we'll spend a little bit more time on the last one because I think it's the most interesting, at least for me. And you guys can comment and contact me if you have any other interests that you think I'm not addressing. Alright. So, and all the links to the articles are going to be in the show notes. Alright, so there are 3 publicly traded companies in Canada that are traded on the New York Stock Exchange that the Motley Fool thinks are going to be acquired, probably by either, probably by canopy growth. So here they are. Organigram. One of the, it's big. They're doing almost $500 million a year, but they're profitable, which is a big thing. So there's a German company, Alpha Cannabis Germany, that might buy them up. We'll see. Afria, one of the larger one, market cap of $2 billion. Jesus. So we'll see. They just bought up some other stuff. Canopy Growth might take a look at them. And then the Green Organic Dutchman is also, it's a funny name for a publicly traded company. So we'll see. There might be a lot of buying and selling of different companies this year. Yeah. Columbia just had its first Canadian stock listing, and so Columbia just last year, the year before, legalized recreational marijuana, but they also have the ability to export, and they have the climate to just grow oodles of ganja. So we will see how they do. I think this is going to be good for everybody. It's certainly better than illegal cocaine. And then I think I mentioned, I don't know if I mentioned this last time, but Cannabis Wheaton is expanding. They just did like an investment round where they sold off a bunch of shares. I think I mentioned that last time. Yeah, so everybody's doing like licensing deals and multi-country deals. All right, here's one that's pretty interesting. And I have a prediction for you. I'm going to do a little prognosticating and prophesying, and however that looks. And then we can look back in 6 months and see if I was right. This article is from entrepreneur.com. It's about cryptocurrency and cannabis industry because a lot of you guys probably know that the banking industry won't touch actual marijuana. Because of its federal Schedule 1 status, which is a little, I get it, because basically the federal government could come in and seize the money at any moment because of its legal status. So this article is just exploring what we might do and kind of the blockchain, Bitcoin. I think there's something called Dash, a coin called Dash that people might use. Yeah. So I think that might be a way of doing things. However, if things go this route, the government will get involved in cryptocurrency. So I'm a little skeptical about if that's a good idea for cryptocurrency. It's certainly a good idea for cannabis. But here's my prediction. This is, May of 2018. I forget the date. By the end of the year, before the midterms, because we have a Republican House right now, and they want the midterms, they're going to do something about the scheduling of cannabis. They're going to leave it up to the states or do something else, just kind of hands off. So I think we're going to see the federal government either rescheduling or easing up on states' rights in this area before the end of the year. That's my prediction. So we will see. And last, but certainly not least, I want to come back to this weedmaps scuffle with the California Bureau of Cannabis Control, the BCC. So they oversee retailers, distributors, testing labs, blah, blah, blah. And this is a different article than I was pulling from last time, but it's very similar. And I've done a little bit more research since then. I just wanted to talk about the branding behind what weedmaps is doing, because they're branching out into all kinds of things. I think they do back-end software, they do business to business, business to consumer, they do data, and they do weedmaps. The BCC, the California Bureau of Cannabis something or other, it's not control, they sent weedmaps a cease and desist letter based on a lot of the fake and illegitimate dispensaries that have been popping up. They refused to comply, arguing that because weedmaps is a website, it doesn't require a state license, it's not under the Bureau's jurisdiction. I think that's probably right, and I think one of them is an attorney. However, I wanted to talk a little bit about the brand here. Because I just watched a video with the CEO guy about this, and he was a little, he said, yes, we're gonna, and I'm paraphrasing here, you guys can go to their Twitter feed, there's a link to the video, it's the last one that popped up. But essentially, yes, this is a problem, it's been a problem for a little while, and it was kind of vague about that, but I think this is going to become a big deal. And and he also said, we are the Google of the cannabis industry. So that tells me, A, that they feel they're in a dominant position and they might be tending towards a little brand arrogance, which I think is it looks like this is coming through on this decision about how to react to the cease and desist. As a consumer, I think that weedmaps' main objective here is to provide me with good information. I think that's their bread and butter. And if they're not doing that, and if they're not, it looks like they're not as committed to that as they could be. And maybe they just don't have a good PR person. But this is going to damage them because people aren't going to want to go to illegitimate dispensaries. One that I was going to last year got raided, and I saw the employees' pictures, who I recognized right away in the paper. They had been arrested, and I think it was misdemeanor charges. People don't want that to happen to them. Now, I live in a conservative town with a very conservative police force, and it's a whole thing. Yeah, I don't think it's under their jurisdiction either. I think they were right in that. However, I think they really need to get out in front of this fake thing, the fake dispensary, the illegitimate dispensary, because if they don't put the time and money into figuring out what's going on there and making sure that the consumer gets the best information and goes to the legitimate dispensaries, even though they're going to miss out on the ad dollars from those illegitimate dispensaries, their brand is really going to suffer. And the fact that he called weedmaps the Google of the cannabis industry kind of tells me a lot about where their head is at. And so I predict trouble for weedmaps in the future. Their website is so useful. I use it all the time, but now I feel like I need to really be cautious about what dispensaries I use, and because there's not really a way that they're addressing this issue, and it's doing something in my brain that's hurting their brand. I now associate their brand with illegitimate dispensaries, and they need to get out in front of that, or somebody else is going to come in and eat them, even though they're the Google of the cannabis industry. So I don't like the arrogance. This is a bad sign, and I predict, here's another prediction, May of 2018. I predict in 2 years they are going to be on the back foot because they're going to have competitors on multiple fronts, and in 5 years they're going to be out. So, we'll see. There's free branding advice. Just get out in front of it, man. So, you guys at weedmaps, get out in front of this. Own it. You don't have to bow to the jurisdiction thing, but just own it. People will respect you. People want legitimate information. Anyways, I'm going to put the show notes, the articles in the show notes. I will see you guys soon. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this. Please leave comments, questions below. I should be able to get those, especially on YouTube. I'll see those. I'm still messing with, I'm using anchor.fm to distribute the podcast, and I don't know if it will show me the comments, or if you can contact me through there. I'll have to check that out. So anyways, subscribe or follow, or whatever it is, whatever platform you're on, please follow me, and we'll talk soon, hopefully about some more interesting branding things. Peace.